our adrenal glands to provide DHEA to convert to testosterone for us. But once you hit menopause and those ovaries aren't working, those ovaries are not going to be producing any testosterone. So that's why you'll see a drop in menopause. Is my testosterone dose too low? Signs for women. Hi, I'm Dr. Valorie Davidson from the Progress Your Health podcast.
I'm Dr. Maki from the Progress Your Health podcast. So testosterone, of course, that's really the only option for men as far as hormones go. But women, there's a lot of other ones, but women certainly have gotten around to the idea that testosterone is helpful.
Oh yeah, testosterone, HRT for women is a beautiful kind of, I call it like an accoutrement to your HRT, like if you're doing estradiol or a biased and progesterone. Yeah, testosterone can be like the frosting on the cake. I think that that's really helpful for women. But if it's too low, you're not going to get the benefit from it, right?
Yeah. So what is without any testosterone, what is a typical blood level that a woman would see on a blood test?
Now, we don't want to chase the blood tests, though. I want to preface that. But if I see someone's testosterone less than 20, especially less than 10, the total testosterone, then yeah, I'm thinking that testosterone is too low. We'll do another podcast after this about testosterone being too high. If your dose is too high, that's where we'll incorporate it in a little bit more with the blood testing. But definitely if a woman has, a testosterone total under 20, I'm like, okay, we got to, let's work on this. But then it's not just the numbers, right? It's the symptoms, right? What symptoms would you say you would notice if a woman has low testosterone or her dose is a little bit too low?
Certainly it can be on more on the subjective side. So, mood, energy, motivation. When a woman hits that late perimenopause and they just say their motivation kind of drops off, that's one where testosterone can be pretty helpful. More, like I said, more so on the subjective mood side. Of course, the obvious one is libido. But sometimes, as you've always said in the past, sometimes the testosterone doesn't do the trick. One, especially if they're really stressed out, and if their estrogen isn't in place, then giving them a bunch of testosterone might not make them feel any better.
Well, there is some crossover with estrogen when you're looking at testosterone, because low levels of estrogen can cause a lot of these symptoms too. But I will say that, testosterone and libido do go together.
Yeah.
Just make sure that the estrogen is optimized, their estrogen HRT is optimized. But really, a lot of women tell me with that testosterone, it's getting their to-do list done. When they start feeling like I'm just not motivated, I'm not finishing my list, I have a list, or maybe I'm not even motivated to make a list. That's when I know, okay, well, we could probably add in a little testosterone, because just from having, experience with working with patients is when we have that testosterone dialed in, the first thing they say is, I get my to-do list done. Yeah. I'm getting my to-do list done. I'm getting it done. I'm writing it down. I'm going to the store. I'm doing all this. And then also exercise, that motivation to go exercise in the recovery period. So I had a patient not too long ago. She had worked out really hard with her trainer and took forever to recover from that. And of course, trainers can be pretty brutal. We love them, but they can be pretty brutal. But we raised up her testosterone and she noticed that she was improving. She was enjoying the gym. She was building that lean muscle. You don't get bulky with the testosterone. I mean, you'd have to have a ton of testosterone really to get bulky. But, she was building that lean muscle and then having that recovery so she could go back to the gym.
Sure. I've had another patient that was having some recovery issues, and we're experimenting with a little bit of testosterone just to see if she's able to bounce back a little faster. And for my patient, it was like she sort of hit a wall, and all of a sudden now her recovery was just a little bit obnoxious. And maybe a little bit to do with her volume of how much she was training. You were going to say something.
I was going to say also kind of that mood too. Sometimes when that testosterone's low, people feel a little like tired, not really with it, just kind of like that zest just isn't there.
Yeah, right. Well, that's where, now, are they really deficient in testosterone? I mean, testosterone is going to probably change a little bit into menopause anyways, but you're using testosterone as a way to help them feel better.
Yeah, we're optimizing the hormones. So you don't want to do too much of a good thing, which we'll talk about later in another podcast, but it's helping to, if you're motivated, you feel good, your libido's better, you're getting into the gym, you're recovering well and getting back to the gym, you're building some muscle. having that resilience, able to deal with stress better. That's when that testosterone's up. You have more stress resiliency. That's only going to help propel the health, because that's what we're looking at. Any tool we can use that's safe and helps our health and our longevity.
Yeah. So what about a testosterone dose if it's too high? How do we go determine if something is the other one?
That's our next podcast.
Okay.
We're going to talk about testosterone dose too high because there's a little bit more nuance with that. But if it's too low, I do feel like women do feel it. When I do HRT with women, especially in menopause, I will start with, the estrogen and the progesterone. So we make sure we get that optimized. Then we add the testosterone in later. I feel like that's a really good way of doing it. Some women do really great on higher levels of testosterone and some women don't. Like, for example, I don't take testosterone HRT because I don't need to. My testosterone kind of naturally runs a little bit high.
Yeah, it always has.
But yeah, exactly. Not like out of range, but usually mine runs around 40 to 60. Where if somebody's, like I said, under 20 and they're having some of these symptoms that we're talking about, we want to implement it, and then we can test it. There's testing the blood, but then also seeing how they feel subjectively. I feel like that's super important.
And we'll save this for the next episode, but there are some things cosmetically that'll happen. But it is amazing in how some women can tolerate a good amount and some women can tolerate none. It really does kind of run the gamut. But most women are going to average somewhere between 2 to 5 milligrams. Again,
not for medical advice,
yeah.
Education only.
Yeah, but as a starting point, and maybe even as a full amount, they're going to use 2 to 5 milligrams at some point or a certain amount over the course of a week.
Yeah. So with the testosterone, it's different. Sometimes I'll have people do it every day. Sometimes they do it a few times a week. That you can kind of work with the patient to see how it's tailored to them. But and then you always want to do it really as a cream. You want to do a transdermal cream. You don't ever want to take testosterone orally. That's not good for the system. You don't really absorb it anyway. But the neat thing with the cream is you can start off a little low and then work your way up. I always feel like it's easier to do that. I have some women that take 1 milligram of testosterone just once a day. I have some women that take it twice a day and they do really well. I have some women that take 5 to 10 milligrams of testosterone daily. It really kind of depends on the person.
Yeah, and it's always better too with testosterone that if you start lower, because you want to make sure that there's some tolerance cosmetically. And then from there, you can always, that's always been your philosophy or your approach is always to start low and then just work it up over time.
And then we'll go over the symptoms. I've never had a woman get really crabby on testosterone. I don't think that that's really as much of an issue.
So that women don't get roid rage?
No, I've never seen that. Like I've seen other symptoms, like I said, we'll go over with too much testosterone, but I've never seen anybody get crabby or snarky or angry or ragey. But but you'll notice as you add that in, like, how's your energy? How's your motivation? How are you getting your things done? How's your libido? How's that, the sex drive? Is it back on the brain or is it not? And then, like I said, there is a little crossover with estrogen. So you want to make sure that their estrogen's dialed in. And I know that, a lot of you listeners are super smart and all this stuff, but that testosterone can aromatize to estradiol. So testosterone can turn into estrogen or turn into estradiol. The doses do need to be pretty high to see it go that much. But at the same time, we're always, like I said, checking in with their estradiol too, making sure those levels are staying where they should be.
Yeah. So is there anything else that you want to talk about testosterone dosing?
Yeah, this one was just more about lower dosing. We could go, and I talked a little bit about the blood testing. If you're going to do a blood test, there's other tests you can do: free testosterone, sex hormone binding globulin, DHEA. I like to do DHEA sulfate if you're doing a blood test. Yeah. DHEA is made from the adrenal glands. It does convert over to testosterone. So that's as we go into menopause. I'm 53. I'm in menopause. We're relying on our adrenal glands to provide DHEA to convert to testosterone for us, because you're not making the ovaries aren't making it. You make a little bit in the ovaries. You make more of it from that DHEA conversion. But once you hit menopause and those ovaries aren't working, those ovaries are not going to be producing any testosterone. So that's why you'll see a drop in menopause. Not a huge drop, but you see that drop. So like I said, there's a lot of other testing you can do with that. But if I really go by the symptoms, and then also, maybe checking that total if we're feeling like it's too low.
Yeah. And I've seen some numbers, as far as checking total, kind of all over the place. I had one just the other day. She wasn't taking hardly any, but her number was kind of high. She doesn't have any of the symptoms of having too much, which we'll talk about on the next one. Maybe we'll use her as almost like I know you have a bunch of those as well too. We'll talk about that on the next, or when we get to that episode. I think we have another one in between.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to add?
No, I think this was great talking about, if your testosterone dose is too low.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what's happening exactly, but as of late, our channel is doing very well.
It is.
Yeah. So if you'd like to like and subscribe, or write some comments down below, we really, really appreciate that. But until next time, I'm Dr. Maki.
And I'm Dr. Valorie.
Take care. Bye-bye.